Had another spirited practice. I think it was really good to have the bye week last week. Our guys' legs seem to really be back and fresh again. We're going to need it. We got a great challenge again this week. It's life in the Pac-12. Playing a tremendous offense, great players, very well coached, very physical. I think clearly the most physical team that we will have played to date, and we've got to match that physicality, and our guys are looking forward to that.
I guess that's kind of what we hear about Stanford. It seems like every year is the size and physicality of them. That shows up again this year.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think that's their brand. I think they recruit to it. I think they do a really nice job of coaching that. The X factor they have is 20. He's special. He's a guy that can take a 4 or 5 yard gain for most backs and take it to the house. So, whether it was Tate a couple weeks ago or Love this week, we've got some explosive players in this league we got to be concerned about.
Arcega-Whiteside has really had, quietly had a very good season. How do you manage to deal with him, and then because they have a lot of size in their receiving game?
Yeah, no, they're very physical outside, and the last group that was kind of like this, I think, maybe a little different speed-wise, but the Ole Miss receivers they're big, physical guys that they're not 50-50 balls, they're 80-20 balls that they're coming down with, and we just got to do a good job competing for balls. Got to do a good job, breaking up the timing so that they can't just run down the field unobstructed, and make some coverages up and some pressures.
How good are their tight ends, and how big of a part do they play in being able to make holes for Bryce Love?
Well, they do a really nice job. For athletic guys, sometimes you get guys that are really good pass catchers, don't want to block. These guys, they block, and they'll keep after it. Really impressed with the tenacity they play with, and it's impressive to see. But we got to match that tenacity.
You mentioned Tate, and then you guys saw Colorado's Lindsey and Oregon State's Null. Does that help you at all this weekend preparing for a running team and Love in general?
Well, it's a really different style of running. The last couple of weeks it's been more one back.
Yep.
Where we're going to see something we hadn't seen in a while. Some two back runs, some two back 2 tight ends, 2 back 3 tight ends, and so the fits on those are going to be a little bit different. And so we'll have to adjust some of the stuff we do, and hopefully our guys will be able to pick it up. Having the bye week has really helped us.
Does it help kind of going best on best out here when they have Malik out here on the offensive end as far as fullbacks?
Yeah, he's probably the closest thing that we have to matching that kind of physicality that they have. It's always good to go good on good. We get a much better look of just the physicality, the speed that we're going to be playing against. And so it's great to have an offense that's multiple like ours, where they can get in some 2 back 2 tight and give us the looks that we need to see.
You guys have so much on the line this week, a chance for a bowl berth, the Axe, playing a really good team along the way. How are you guys kind of dealing with everything that's going on this week?
It's why you play college football. It's why you coach college football. It's for opportunities like this. You're playing in November for something. You always have this game against the guys on the other side of the bay to inspire the fan base. Our guys, they go about it very workmanlike. It's about our preparation. It's about it's just some unnamed opponent on the other side, but we always know that it is something a little bit special. So to be able to play in November for something, it just makes our guys have practice that much more juice, and really been pleasantly pleased. I've been pleased with how well our guys have practiced.
Is there offensive?
I was going to say surprised, but I wasn't really surprised.
Is their offensive line particularly good at the blocking for Love? That they?
Yeah, they do a really nice job. I don't know who their offensive line coach is, but he does a tremendous job, because it seems like each and every year they just plug new guys in, and it's like a machine. They get movement up front, and Love doesn't need that much of a crack, and it'll be one or two, and then here comes 40. He just needs a little crack, and he can explode through it.
You guys talk about it all the time, but being consistent. And you mentioned he does kind of have the 1 or 2 yarders and then breaks one. So is consistency any more important or the same this week?
Oh yeah, it's always important, but especially when you're playing these home run hitter type players, you've got to be consistent in your gaps. You've got to get guys to strain their bodies to get multiple guys to the ball, because in space, if he's got a crack, he makes a lot of guys miss, and then once he's gone, no one can catch him.
Heard you on Monday preaching details to your guys. Because it's raining, because it's wet, you have to pay attention to details. Is it kind of good that it's rained a few days?
Yeah.
So pay attention to those details a little bit more?
Well, I think so, because it's easy to get distracted when it rains. It's easy to get distracted when it's windy. You've got to practice it. And, for our guys to go through and keep that level of attention to detail, I think is good. You can't practice the rain when it's, like it is normally here, 75 and sunny.
But it's going to be, 65, 68 and sunny and clear. But is it good to have them practice that attention to detail so that when they do get into that game and against Bryce Love, where details are going to be important?
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about the noise of the game. You've got the excitement, the juice, especially when you first go out there. You've got to be able to tamp that down and be able to focus on details. And especially in a game like this, I've been in other places where, Texas A&M, Army, Navy. I mean, these guys are going to be juiced, and you've got to acknowledge it, yet still realize, hey, we've got a mission, and we've got to be focused on the details of it.
I don't mean to throw one out of the blue, but we're doing a story on the Ortega family this week. And I know he hasn't been on the field a ton this year, but what do you think about the way that he's come along, the way he works from week to week?
He's a great young man. For a guy to be as invested in this program as he is, it's tough. You come out and you're a scout team player, most of the time. He keeps developing his craft. The saddest part about him is, his body. He's got Division I ability, but he's got a Division III body, unfortunately. And he's probably the smartest linebacker we have. He knows all the checks. I was really pleased that we got him in, what was the end of the Washington State game. He might have even had a tackle in that game. So, for a guy to go through 4 years, and there's not many people play in the Pac-12. Division I football is one thing, but to play at this kind of a level, I was really happy for him to do that, and just happier and hoping he had a great experience, and happy for the contribution he's made to our team, because everybody in our defense loves him, the linebacker room loves him, because they see how much he loves his team in this game.
Kind of going off of details and linebackers, Jordan Kanashik, he seems that he pays so much attention to every little thing in speaking of D3 bodies. He was 5'4", 130 as a freshman in high school. What have you seen out of him and the way he pays attention to detail?
Well, I think when he missed those games early, I think he was maybe a little bit more inspired that, hey, you never know if this is going to be my last rep. And so he's in watching tape as much as anybody on our team, probably as much as our coaches. He knows all the tendencies. He's always trying to find that extra edge to allow him to play faster. When you give him little details, like punching the ball out, he takes them to heart and he practices them all the time. It's made him a better player because he's playing faster. We got to be more consistent, but I love the effort and intensity that he practices with.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks. Cool.